Overview of fish and seafood processing. A fish and seafood processing technician is responsible for processing fish and seafood to achieve quality and quantity of products along with maintaining food safety and hygiene in the work environment. Following are the various types of fish and seafood products: fish oil, fish fingers, fish emulsion, tuna eyes, shrimp head-on cooked, center peeled, fish sauce, sushi, cooked butterfly shrimp, frozen fish fillet, squalene, fish hydrolysate, fish meal. Fish and seafood processing consists of primary processing, which is the first methodical assessment of the fish before processing, and secondary processing, which includes processes at any stage beyond primary processing. Examples of primary seafood processing on land include, but are not limited to, washing, heading, gutting, filleting of fish. Examples of secondary processing include, but are not limited to, salting, smoking, refrigeration and storage. Tools and equipment. Tools and equipment used in fish and seafood processing can be classified under the following stages of processing. Receiving. At the receiving stage, the following equipment is used: crane, brailer, scale, slush ice bag, tote, insulated 1500 lb, forklift, tote keeper for forklift, dumping, plastic shovel, ice machine. General processing. The following tools or equipment is required for general processing: pallet jack, double hopper, feed chute and receiving table, process line belt conveyor, rinse tank, table, grading with bins, boxing roller, knife, knife sharpener, header, fillet processing, filleting machine, pin bone removal machine, smoking, smoking unit, freezing, blast freezer, freezer cold storage, freezer van. Canning, canning process line. Methods of fish and seafood processing. The different methods in which fish and seafood can be processed involves salting, smoking, drying, curing, dehydration, pickling, cooking, and canning. Salting. Salting is the process that lowers the moisture or water content of the fish and other fishery products. Salt partially dehydrates the fish, kills the bacteria, and thus prevents microorganisms to live and grow. It also improves fish texture because it firms up the fish. Smoking. This method combines with salting, pre-cooking, and drying. Smoking dehydrates the fish further. The smoke gives color and flavor to the fish. Drying. This method is also known as natural dehydration. Like salting, it lowers the water content of the fish to a point where microorganisms, bacteria, enzymes, and yeast cannot grow and multiply. The most popular fish preservation method is solar drying. It is done using the salting method. Fish dried under the sun looks and tastes better. Curing. This method uses chemical preservatives, including vinegar and salt. Smoke and other factors to reduce the moisture or water content of the fish. Cured fish or fishery products possess flavor and texture completely different from those of the fresh fish. Dehydration. Dehydration is an artificial process of drying because it is done with the use of mechanical devices such as ovens that produce artificial heat for drying. Pickling. Pickling is a method of preserving food in brine or vinegar. It can be done with or without bacterial fermentation. Cooking. Cooking is the best way to prevent wastage or spoilage of fish. Cooking fish with vinegar prolongs the period of preservation. Canning. Canning is the packing of fish in airtight containers such as tin cans and glass jars, which prevent air and microorganisms from entering. Through heat processing, microbes inside the can are destroyed. This prevents spoilage under normal conditions and allows the fish to be stored for longer periods. Sardines and salmon are the most commonly canned fish in the market. Let us summarize what we have learned once more. Fish and seafood processing involves salting, smoking, drying, curing, dehydrating, pickling, cooking, canning. Packaging and storage of processed fish and seafood. The packaging of the product is very important to preserve its nutritive values. The challenge to the packaging industry is to deliver the processed fish and seafood to the consumer in the most economical, hygienic, safe, and environmentally friendly package. Hence, it is important to choose the right packaging material and a temperature-controlled storage area. The most common packaging material used to manufacture containers for processed fish and seafood are tin plate, aluminium alloys, glass jars, retortables, pouches. Stock rotation system like FIFO and FEFO are applied. FIFO, first in, first out, is a stock rotation system that dispatches processed food depending on the order in which it is produced. FEFO, first expired, first out, is a stock rotation system wherein products that need to be consumed earlier are shipped first. Roles and responsibilities of a fish and seafood processing technician. Let us now take a look at the roles and responsibilities of a fish and seafood processing technician. Process the fish and seafood using the methods of salting, smoking, drying, curing, dehydration, pickling, cooking, canning, and fermentation. Inspect raw materials and finished goods. Document and maintain records of raw materials, production schedule, process, and finished products. Clean and sanitize the work area before starting work. Maintain an appropriate standard of personal cleanliness. Prepare for and appropriately respond to emergencies and undertake recovery measures.